Hello. The media has a tendency to dramatize things that maybe do not need dramatizing. The four advisors who resigned yesterday, this was presented as something very negative for the government. In fact, I suspect it was part of the clear out that was promised following the Partygate scandal. Whether it's enough to save Boris, God knows, that's a different matter. But to present everything as if you're sitting on a knife edge, everything is a crisis, in the end you just stop paying attention. I don't think this is a crisis. And this morning we've learned that the Conservatives have won the by-election, which was caused by the stabbing of the Conservative MP in Southend. Well, yes, in a way, of course they won it because the main parties, Labour and the Liberals, didn't stand against anyone, given the circumstances of the by-election, given the way that by-election was created because of an MP being stabbed, that didn't stop quite a number of rather strange people standing against him. The psychedelic party, I think, did quite well. The Conservatives held the seat. So I think, for the most part, the news in the last day has been quite positive. And there's a bit of a Boris breather. As I say, I'm not sure what this means once the news is digested. But I tire a little of the constant interpretation that everything is bad automatically, because that's an interesting angle to follow. This is BBC bias, and the reality is much duller, really. And I think sometimes you need the dull. You can't be on the edge of your seat all the time. We're not telling some sort of ghost story. Oh, whistle, and I'll come to you, my lad, said M.R. James. If we want to tell ghost stories, we should tell ghost stories. We shouldn't be in the business of doing the news if we want a good ghost story. We should be reading M.R. James or whatever. In fact, that's not such a bad idea, is it? Not such a bad idea. The tin whistle, which is found on the moors and belongs to an ancient Knight Templar who appears in a bundle of linen. It's a good story. Do have a look at it.